Your thoughts have the power to heal or poison you depending on the information they carry. Your thoughts are like a contract with the world around you and the universe. They can change the physical world, including your body. To heal your body, you must first heal your mind. Most diseases people get in their lives are caused by their feelings, which are sparked and changed by their thoughts. It's interesting and life-changing to learn how to fix our bodies through the power of thought. Emotions are the main cause of almost all diseases in the world. Interestingly, emotions can also completely cure diseases. Lots of people with chronic diseases have made amazing breakthroughs by changing the way they think and see life. To do this, they have to become more self-aware and in charge of their lives. But what are emotions? Emotions help us put our thoughts into words and feel them in our bodies. Even though emotions aren't physical, they help us to bring non-physical sensations into the physical world so we can feel and express them in our bodies. And thoughts are how we show our emotions, both good and bad. Every cell in our bodies is affected by our thoughts, which makes them stronger and healthier. When we feel good or bad, our cells can tell, and based on that information, they either get weaker or stronger. For example, if you criticize others a lot, it shows that you are angry inside. Our subconscious mind takes in all of these thoughts, collecting a lot of them that we may not even be aware of. When you constantly feel stressed, angry, or like making fun of other people, all of these negative emotions build up. The universe is made up of energy, and so are we. Our bodies are always surrounded by energy, and our thoughts and the vibrations they send out can change the energy within us. This deep connection between our emotions, thoughts, and bodies lets us either bring on diseases or help them heal. Emotions like fear, guilt, shame, and anger send out low vibrations that can mess with the healing process. We are all naturally divine beings residing in human bodies that serve as vessels for our living spirit. Each of us carries the essence of divinity within us, radiating energy. When we judge ourselves or others, hold on to negative labels, or push away certain experiences, we lower our inner energy. Not just because of the fight itself, but also because of how we feel about ourselves afterward, and the burden of guilt that comes with that. In order to move forward, we want you to understand that abundance is flowing to you, and that it should flow from that avenue. We want you to understand that things are always working out for you, and that the pushing against that made you all feel better is not serving you in terms of your true abundance. It means that your abundance comes from a source that is trying to cut you off, so you're in a battle. Under the influence, you've got some choices to make. What do you want to demonstrate, being tuned into source energy, or being on the revenge path? This is big, and you all apparently needed to hear it. We're having fun with you, but you get what we're talking about. And so we want you to know that well-being will continue to flow to you. And we certainly understand why your heart feels like that right now, but we want you to know that when you're under the influence of source, you don't feel that kind of revenge. Instead, you feel satisfaction, and beyond, you feel appreciation for what you have to feel, appreciation for what's coming to feel, appreciation for what still is coming. You don't try to understand what happened that will make you crazy, but you look for your own stability in this process, and you expect the universe to yield to you. You expect the source to yield to you. It's like children. So often parents seem to teach their children, and children certainly catch on to it fast, that all of their abundance comes through you to me. And so it causes children to be extra needy with their parents and whiny to their parents. And if parents give in to that, and maybe they've even promoted it, it teaches the children something that is not true. It teaches them that their source is their parent, or that their source is that person, and that's not accurate at all. Look at the vulnerability that puts you in when you believe that is your source of well-being. That is your source of abundance. Look how unstable you are when that source decides to go. Someplace else, you don't want to encourage that to feel like your source. You want to know that the universe is abundant with well-being that is flowing to you. And of course, you want to advocate for your own well-being, and of course there will be those who will do that for you. But if you go into any of that encounter, and you push really hard, against what most everybody thinks you should push hard against, you know who you're really pushing hard against you. When you push hard against this, look what you're doing to yourself. When you put pressure on anything, the pressure is on you see. And that's not who you are. That's not what this path of least resistance and path of most allowance is. But when you get out there ahead of yourself and you think, but this is the only path I can see, and therefore I've really got to advocate for that path, that's all right too. It's all right to want all that you can get. Just don't ask for every penny. And just don't be vengeful in the process of it. We just don't think that you should have to be miserable during all of that sorting out, because anger is misery in comparison with love. Hatred is misery in comparison with alignment. Confusion is misery in comparison with clarity, and instability is misery in comparison with stability. You've got some choices that you get to make. What we're demonstrating here, and what we want you to hear, is that so much of the world still believes, the physical world still believes, and the human world still believes that the way I get to what I want is by pushing against what I don't want. There are ongoing battles against poverty, drugs, teenage pregnancy, and various other issues, and unfortunately, they are only growing in magnitude. This is because pushing against these problems inadvertently activates our vibration and path of least resistance, ultimately attracting more of what we are trying to combat. The universe doesn't work that way, you see, so just flow is life. Feel your way, meditate, get into that place, and then follow the impulse. We're not saying to lay down like a doormat, give in to anything everybody wants, or stay true to what you want, but there's a big difference between being true to what you want and pushing against the other, and there are several comments that you made today, and we don't blame you. No one does. You're pushing hard against them. You see them sort of as your enemy, and you can't be pushing against your enemy and asking for your salvation at the same time. You can't be solution-oriented and problem-oriented at the same time. In other words, you have to pick a path, and your inner being's already chosen it, and when you choose the same path that your inner being has chosen, you'll feel wonderful, you'll feel light and free, and good things will come to you. So the path I'm not on doesn't mean I should hug or treat my enemy badly. That's extreme. It means you should get into alignment and see how you feel. That's what it means. We could tell you everything that's going to happen, and you wouldn't be able to hear it because you're not in alignment yet. When you're in that vengeful mode, your impulse is to the sugar in the gas tank making the tires splash and clothes fly out the window. You're under a different influence when you're not under the influence of your source, and so you got to get under the influence and then follow the impulse. You see, do you feel like a victim? I am on the way out of it. That's a really good thing to ask yourself, because if you feel like a victim, the universe will victimize you. People who don't even know will victimize you. But if you feel sure, and if you feel good, and if you feel on top of this, and you feel, and there's no one who doesn't understand why you would feel that way, it's just not good for you. It just doesn't serve you. And no victim ever gets, even you never get even, there's no bottom to that. So right now, you have more control than later. So what do you want is your future experience. You want to push against these two forever. You want to teach your children how to push against them. You want them to be the reason that they're not in alignment with Source. You want that to be the reason that your children don't even know about their own guidance system. You want that to be the reason that your children don't have a guidance system that's active, and so they can't tell what they really want to do if you want to catch it while you can. It's amazing that you're even close to this. You want to catch it while you can. And then they're at potential regret of feeling, I'm trying to clear with you. If I may, the reason I want to continue to save my marriage is I want to be able to tell my children and myself I have done everything possible, so I won't have any regret. Tell them that now, because you have, and then we would like you to tell your children life is an adventure. And there are so many experiences in life, and every one of them gives us clarity, and we take a bounce, and everything that happens we become sure and clearer and more, and sometimes when things happen, we don't think we want them to, but when we get down the road a little bit, then we can see clearly the value of it. And so this is not a bad thing that's happening, even though it feels like it is. This is not a bad thing that is happening, thank you. Can I have, during the worst timing of this process, I fell into the trap of I lost a big sum of money to a phone scam. That's what happens when you feel like a victim, right? It's all right, that's done. Don't talk about it anymore. Can I get the money back? How can I get the money back? Nope, no. Okay, not when you feel like that. When you're a victim, good stuff goes and bad stuff comes. So if I buy a car of a deck of card of abundance and money and meditate every day, can I get it back? Yes, but not from them. It will come from other places. When you focus on that and want it, you lose your link.